actually change the color. Okay, that's that for that. Now over to the texture tool. The texture tool, what texture simply means is, instead of using a, you can say, instead of you using a color to beautify a text, you can use texture. Texture simply means a feel, like an image or something that's not a color, that you use to beautify the text. For instance, if I want to use a texture in this text right now, a texture, apply a texture in this text, I will go over to the texture toolbar, then I'll click on this place that look like photo to select the texture I want to apply to the text. Okay, let's select this food texture right now. Okay, select. You see that the effect has already been applied on the text. You see the texture, the food is in the text actually. The food is in the text. So that's what the texture tool does. So you just to add texture to the text. Okay, opacity means the degree of lightness and the degree of brightness and dullness of a color or a text. So you can reduce the brightness of the text and increase the brightness, make it sharp, and reduce it, making it dull. You get? That's what opacity does. So rotate simply means to rotate the text. So any direction you want it, you can rotate up, down, rotate in one direction, only up and down. You cannot rotate in a 3D direction using the rotate tool. This rotate tool does not rotate in a 3D direction, like from left to right. It rotates from up and down. You get? Up and down. Okay. Also, the rotate tool can also be used here. You can use this as a rotate tool. You can rotate from this to here. Okay. Going over to the next, we have the masking tool. Okay, the masking tool is a tool used to apply an effect to a text. For instance, if I want this Pixellab to cut a part of this Pixellab, like a kind of a design in the text, I'll just use the masking tool to mask a part of it and click on this place. Then as you can see, I've cleared some part of the Pixellab tutorial. You get? So that's what masking tool does, is a kind of a text effect you apply to a text. So the font, the next to the font, as we all know, the font is writing the writing of the text. You change the writing to this, to any style or any form you want. Change the writings, change, it's basically used to change the writings. Okay, that's what the font does. So the next one, the style. The style is used to change the is used to bold the text, italic, underline, and non-underline. That's what style does basically. So the next one, curve tool. The curve tool is used to curve a text. Okay, curving a text. Let me go over to this text. The background text tool. The background text tool is used to add a background, a colored background to the text, like a background to the text. For instance, now you see this background, you add a colored background. You can change the color to whichever color you want. You can change it to whichever color you want. So that's what the background tools does. Change the color of the background. Okay, so align, we all know what align simply means, like to align your work to a specific direction, either to the left or to the right. or to center. It can also justify. This two helps you to also justify. Okay, so the spacing is to increase, like, is it kind of text effect used to increase the spaces between your letters or the spaces between the words. Okay, that's what spacing to do. It's used to increase the spacing between the letters or the spacings between the words. I hope you all know what's the difference between letters and words. Letters simply means singular letter like P-I-X. The letters, they are spacing out, as you can see. While in the spacing of the words, you can see only Pixellab and tutorial spaced out. You get, sorry, word, Pixellab and tutorial spaced out. Okay, so over to the next, we have line spacing. Okay, line spacing is used to space. For instance, if you have a series of write-ups here, you use to space horizontally. You get, horizontally. The previous one, which is the spacing itself, is used to space vertically. While the, like, vertically on and the x-axis, you get, why the line spacing